Welcome to today's Explainer. I am incredibly excited about this one because we're tackling a fitness mystery that frustrates so many people. We are going to completely demystify the dreaded skinny fat trap. If you've been feeling stuck, well, let's just dive right into the research to see how we can finally break through that barrier together and do it without relying on that exhausting, frankly miserable fitness advice we've all been told to follow. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's Explainer. First, the skinny fat reality. Then, what is body recomposition? After that, smarter eating and easy protein. Then, training for muscle growth. And finally, measuring your real progress. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, the skinny fat reality, and exactly why those extreme diets completely backfire on us.
So, to kick things off, I really want to normalize this frustration. If you're struggling with your physique right now, listen to me. There is absolutely nothing inherently wrong with you. You've just been given the wrong tools for the job. Let's talk about the classic mirror test. You know the one. You put on a fitted t-shirt, you glance in the mirror and you think, hey, I look pretty good. But then, the shirt comes off at the beach of the pool and the difference is obvious, right? The shape just kind of disappears. There's this noticeable softness underneath. You might notice there's no clear chest definition, your arms lack that solid muscle tone, and there's that stubborn fat around the waist that literally refuses to budge. And it's not just visual either. Basic physical tasks like knocking out a set of push-ups or lifting a heavy box, well, they feel way harder than they should. It is a highly relatable, incredibly common experience.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where things usually go off the rails. When panic sets in and people feel out of shape, the gut reaction is almost always to go to extremes. The instinct is to cut out all carbs and just punish the body with excessive, high-intensity cardio. But here's the thing. When you combine a drastic drop in calories with overdoing the cardio, it forces your body right into survival mode. It doesn't just burn fat, it actually breaks down and eats its own muscle. The result? You just become a smaller version of yourself, but still soft. The smarter, science-backed response is to focus on building muscle and losing fat at the exact same time.
Moving on to Section 2. What is body recomposition? Upgrading from the inside out.
We are completely pivoting away from that broken panic response to a science-backed, deeply empowering solution. Body recomposition is the process of building stronger, denser muscle while simultaneously losing fat. Honestly, the easiest way to understand this is to think of it like upgrading your body's hardware. You are literally replacing weaker, softer tissue with strong, dense muscle. And here is the absolute best news. The data shows that if you're a beginner to this kind of training, you have a massive advantage. Your body is primed and ready to respond quickly to these exact changes. Now, to actually make this happen, you do not need to starve yourself. In fact, actually scratch that, you definitely shouldn't. To achieve body recomposition, the numbers show you really only need to eat at maintenance calories or a slight calorie deficit of about 15%. That's it, just a 15% drop. This perfect little sweet spot allows your body to use its stored fat for energy while still having plenty of fuel to build that new muscle.
All right, Section 3. Smarter eating and easy protein, fueling your transformation.
Because, to build this brand new muscle, your body absolutely has to have the right building materials. We're talking about protein. But let's be super clear here, you do not need to torture yourself with incredibly bland, sad Tupperware meals of dry chicken and broccoli. As the data shows, it's about simple choices. Greek yogurt, a few eggs in the morning, or just a quick protein shake. How easy is that? The secret here isn't culinary perfection, it's consistency. It's just about making small, smart food choices and easily adding these simple proteins into your meals throughout the day.
So the crucial point on burning that fat, and this might actually surprise you, is that you don't need those exhausting, joint-pounding cardio sessions. Simply getting 7,000 to 10,000 daily steps is vastly superior for our goals here. Why? Because walking burns calories and helps tap right into that stored fat without draining your energy or causing your hunger levels to absolutely spike. And a massive hunger spike is exactly what intense cardio does.
Which brings us to Section 4, training for muscle growth, building the engine.
Okay, so now that we're fueled up, let's talk about the specific mechanics required to actually upgrade that softer tissue. The magic phrase that keeps coming up in the research is progressive overload. Now, I know, it sounds like some academic fitness term, but discovering how simple it actually is was a real aha moment. It simply means gradually challenging the body by doing slightly more work over time to stimulate muscle growth. Think about it, your body adapts to whatever stress you put on it. If the stress never changes, well, your muscles are never going to grow.
Let's make this ridiculously practical for your very next gym session. Here's exactly how progressive overload is applied in 2 really easy steps. Step 1, just add a few extra reps to your exercise. If you did 8 reps of a dumbbell press last week, try to get 9 or 10 this week. Step 2, once the reps get high enough, increase the weight slightly and drop the reps back down. You're basically just asking your body to do a tiny bit more than it did last time. That is literally the entire secret to muscle growth.
But listen, we cannot talk about building muscle without talking about the number 7. You need at least 7 hours of sleep at night. This is vital. Here's a fact from the research that completely blew my mind. Muscle growth doesn't actually happen while you lift weights in the gym. The gym is just where you break the muscle down. The growth, the actual upgrading of your body, happens during rest, specifically when you are sleeping.
Section 5. Measuring your real progress and why the scale completely lies to you. Now, what's really interesting here is this crucial mindset shift. We have to talk about how to measure success without letting that square piece of plastic in your bathroom totally derail your motivation. There is a massive visual difference between muscle and fat. Muscle is far denser than fat. Because of this, you could literally be losing pockets of fat around your midsection while adding thick, dense muscle to your chest and arms, and the scale? It might not move a single pound. The scale is completely misleading. Instead, you want to look for real progress. How do your clothes fit? Are your shirts tighter around the shoulders but maybe a bit looser around the waist? That is body recomposition happening right there in real time. Taking weekly photos is going to prove your body is transforming way better than the scale ever could.
Ultimately, this transformation is really a game of percentages, specifically 80% consistency and 20% flexibility. This transformation takes time, guys. A skinny fat physique didn't develop overnight, and it for sure won't disappear overnight either. Trying to be 100% perfect with diet and training? No way. That only leads to burnout and eventually just quitting. But staying consistently on track 80% of the time over several months, that is the true secret. That is exactly how the skinny fat look gets replaced with a lean, strong, athletic body.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to finally ditch the scale? Are you ready to leave those old, frustrating metrics behind and instead embrace the 15% deficit, the simple proteins like eggs and Greek yogurt, the 7,000 to 10,000 daily steps, and the amazing power of progressive overload? Trust this process. Give your body the time it actually needs to rebuild, and you will absolutely shatter the skinny fat barrier. So the next time you step into the gym, ask yourself, are you training to just get smaller, or are you ready to finally upgrade your engine? Thanks for exploring this with me today.